Well, Morgan, thank you for coming on the red carpet.
Yes, my pleasure. We all like red carpets.
Yes. Can you tell everybody a little bit what got you into the entertainment industry?
Yeah, well, I actually started doing improv classes in college. And then it just kind of happened to me. I really wasn't planning on being an actor. It was something I always wanted to do, and then it just kind of fell in my life. I kind of grew up in a family where it was you can be a doctor or a scientist, and those are your career options. And one day, I guess a director saw a picture of me somewhere. Some photographer had a picture of me that I was doing for work, and he was like, "I want that girl to be in my movie," and he like hunted down my boss and called her, and then she called me. She was like, "Do you want to be in a student film?" I was like, I've never thought about being an actor, but I did improv. How hard can it be?" And then it just kind of went from there, and I tried it, and I was like, I can't not stop doing this. And then it just snowballed into a kind of a career. So, and here we are. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. That's actually a really really cool story
Yeah,
because
it just sometimes, life just happens to you.
yes, that is so true. I want to dig into my favorite TV show, The Stranger Things that you were in.
Yeah, that was
Let's
cool.
talk about that. And I know you had to get a haircut, but the Stranger Things, I love it. It's absolutely amazing. So let's talk about how you got that role and how was it like being on set, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, well, that also a lot of things in this industry happen to me by accident. They just kind of get handed to me, and I'm so thankful for that. It's been a big blessing. But the Stranger Things was kind of similar to how I got into acting. It was I had just moved to Atlanta for acting, and I was like, I know this is what I want to do. I'm moving to Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta, and I really didn't know a lot of people. I started making like some connections, and randomly on like we were kind of just making a YouTube video. It was just
Hmm.
small, and there was this guy. His name is Joseph. Shout out to Joseph. I love him. He I thought he was kidding, and he just kind of comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Joseph," and blah blah blah, and we were just chatting, and then randomly he was like, "Have you seen Stranger Things?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I've seen Stranger Things. Who do you think? What kind of American do you think I am?" And he was like, "Well, do you want to be in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to be in Stranger Things." And then he was like, "Okay, what's your email address?" And I was like, "Okay." So I gave him my email, and that was all he said. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm this person, blah blah blah." He just was like, "Oh, what's your email?" And I was like, "That was a weird interaction." And I thought it was spam. So I got an email from Stranger Things, like saying that, "Oh, you get to be in the background of Stranger Things, fill out this paperwork." And I was like, "Oh, it's just, how many scams there are in this industry. Everyone's like, you'll be famous, fill out this email and click on this document and click on this link." And I thought it was scam. I even showed it to my sister. I was like, "Ah, look at this." Look at this really good scam they have going here. Think keep getting actors to think they can be in Stranger Things. And I we were actually doing like a little premiere for an Esperanto film festival, and I ran into Joseph again, and he was like, "Did you get my email?" And I was like, "What email?" And he was like, "Oh, let me send it again." And then he was like, "Okay, I sent it. Did you get it?" And I look at my phone, and it's this what I thought was a scam email. And I was like, "Oh, so you meant it when you said that I could be in Stranger Things." He was like, "Yeah, you could be in Stranger Things." I was like, "Oh, I will fill it out right now. I'm sorry. I thought you were fake." So then I filled it out, and he warned me. He texted me. He was like, "Just so you know, like they're cutting people's hair because you have to fit the 80s vibe. They're trying to be, really strict about." making like the costuming people, and they were really on top of being historically accurate. So he was like, you'll have to have an 80s haircut. And I had just done a film set in the 70s, so I already had like a 70s shag. So I thought, oh, I don't need a haircut. They're gonna take one look at me and I'll be fine and I won't need a haircut. So and then I get there. And they're like, yeah, so we're gonna do a big chop today. Are you okay with that? I was like, what do you mean? I already have 70s hair. I don't need a haircut. And they're like, yes, we have to cut it or you can't be in
I'm
Stranger
not
Things.
trying to laugh at you. I'm
And
sorry.
I was
I'm
like, I'm
sorry.
here. I had already driven through the whole set, and they had some of the garages open where they were filming, and I could see the upside down. Like I drove past like a garage full of upside down props, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. So I had already driven past that, and I'm there, and I'm sitting there, and they're cutting everyone else's hair. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Like, I'm gonna have to, my mother's gonna kill me. This is like before Christmas. It was like October. I was like, I'm gonna go home for Christmas and my mother's gonna kill me. So and my hair, mind you, it still hasn't grown back, but my hair was to here, uh, on my chest. And they cut it here, like to my clavicle. They chopped it. You really can't tell in how short it is in the film because it's like styled and everything, but it was. And I have a video somewhere of me getting in my car, and my friend had come to the set with me because she just wanted to be there in the presence. She stayed in the car because she wasn't allowed to get out. But she was there, and I got back in the car, and I texted her. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're cutting my hair. What do I do?" And she was like, "Well, it's Stranger Things. Like you have to." And then I get in the car, and she was like, wow, it's really short. I'm like, and I'm in tears. I'm like crying. I'm like, it's so short, but it's Stranger Things. You only do this once. And then I got home, and and that was when it really set in because my hair is like I love my hair, and it was especially as a woman like cutting my hair when it was I had never cut my hair that short before ever in my life. And and this was my roommate, and we were bless her heart, her and her mother tried so hard to like find a way to style my hair so that I didn't look like Snow White because I just looked like the cartoon. They had it rounded, like it was round and very like poofy and Snow Whitey. And I was like, I can't go outside like this. I'm never gonna get another acting job ever again. Like I was catastrophizing. And she's like, "Well, what if we curl it? What if we straighten it? I have this crimper. We can try this." And then I was just it was a whole thing. And I was so upset, but then I was like, it's fine, it'll grow back. It's Stranger Things. So and then I get to the set and I'm like, you know what? I don't need my hair. This is Stranger Things. It's okay now. So I got to the set, and of course, everybody is like, "Oh, my hair was here, and my hair was here." Oh my gosh, there was this poor girl who had hair all the way down to her bottom, and they cut her hair off, and she was upset about her haircut too. But she was also like, "You know what? When else do you get to be on Stranger Things? If the price of Stranger Things is cutting your hair, it's worth it." So we're all there with our short hair in our super cool outfits, and they made me goth, which I was so excited about. I was like, I get to be an 80s goth. Like, yeah, you can keep my hair. Actually, I'll have my hair cut forever. It's fine. Uh and the set was amazing. Everyone was so just next level professional and kind and efficient. Boy, were these people efficient. The PAs were on top of things. The AD was just incredible. I would hire him for anything ever. And they fed us really well even as background, which on most sets are kind of like second class citizens, like you don't even look at them. They treated us so well. They made sure we had everything that we needed. Um, they like catered. It was like I felt like we were at a wedding. Like it was like wedding quality food that they had catered for us, which was just delicious. Like we had like steak and chicken. Like it was good food. It was like the best food I've ever had on a set. Um, and of course, going and getting in our seats and sitting down in the bleachers scene at the graduation. And then they have all the stand-ins behind me. And I was like, and they had like on their chest the name of the characters. And I'm like, goodness, I'm sitting right in front of like the lead characters. This is so cool. And then, of course, they come out in their costumes and they all get put in place. And it was freezing outside, so they had them in their special tent, staying warm. And then we were all out there with our knees knocking together, freezing to death. And then they would just pull the stand-ins out and put them in right when it was time to film, which which is great because I'm sure they needed that. And yeah, it was weird just having them sitting behind me. Oh, and gosh, I can't remember her name. But the little girl who plays Nancy's sister, uh, she was like, "Oh, you're," in her cute little British accent. She was like, "Oh, oh, your costume is so cool." And I was like, thank you. She spoke to me. And which was just fun because they weren't supposed to talk to us. So I hope she didn't get in trouble for that. And I hope I didn't get in trouble for making eye contact with her. But no, it was an amazing experience. That was definitely the highlight, was just being on those bleachers and like seeing like, wow, this is a real production. With they had the cranes and all the fancy equipment and probably $100,000 camera. It was just being on a set with that kind of budget. You feel it. You can feel the budget. The budget has a presence on that set. And that was like the biggest difference between doing independent films and something like that. Was you could tell how much money was going into this thing. But I mean, look at the product. The money goes toward a very good product, and they did an amazing job. I think everyone should be very proud for all the work that they put into that set. And
Wow.
it was just cool to be a part of it. Just being there. I was like, I don't care that my whole face is not on it. I don't care that I'm blurry in the background. Like, just the fact that my forehead is on that screen, that makes the haircut worth it.
Right. And how did you, I gotta ask, how did your mom feel about your haircut?
She was horrified. Yeah, of course I get home for Christmas and she's like, "Oh, oh, you cut your hair." And she's so sweet. She's trying to be nice about it. And she's like, "Oh, you cut your hair." And she's smiling and I'm like, "I know. It's gonna grow back." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't like it." I was like, "Yeah, it's okay. I know." But yeah, she would just come up to me multiple times throughout Christmas. She would just come and touch it like, "Oh, there's like a part of my daughter missing." Is kind of how it felt because I've had long hair my whole life up until this point.
Your family was horrified.
Yeah, she was horrified. She was like, for a movie, like, and she hadn't seen Stranger Things, so she didn't understand why I would cut
Uh-huh.
that much of my hair off for,
So
what is
did she
strange thing, TV show. And she was like, "What's Netflix?" Like she didn't.
so did she watch your episode?
She did. My sister, I have two younger sisters who live with my mom, and they pulled it up for her so she could see my forehead on the screen. And she was like, "Oh yeah, those are my daughter's eyebrows. She's okay. I guess she's on Netflix." And I don't think she quite gets it, what it means to me, but she understands like how excited I am about it. And now that my hair's grown back, it's been a year. It's grown quite a bit now. So she's okay with it now, but at the time it was like, "What? Wait, this is a horrible haircut. What were you thinking?"
Well, congratulations being on
Yeah,
Stranger Things. You know, that show is absolutely amazing. Um, and I admit, when I first started watching it, I was kind of sorry, any Stranger fans out there, Stranger Things fans. I was a little skeptical. But later, more I kept watching it, I was so glued, and the music is, and the cast members, and I'm like, okay, this is the like it's getting better and better and better, and the storylines, and to me, I want to say Stranger Thing is about friendship. You
Mhm.
notice it. The characters, and you watch Stranger Things is about friends not abandoning each other, friends being there for each other, and that's one thing I noticed about the show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have stories about relationships other than just love stories.
Hmm.
Like, yes, there are those elements in Stranger Things, but it's really refreshing to have stories that center around like just the love between friends, like just
Hmm.
put some
And
good
that's one
on
thing
it.
I was
Yeah,
sorry, that's one thing I was really glued on. The
yeah,
friends, the friendship. I
yeah,
see what you're talking about. It's that bond, staying together and sticking to each other, helping each other, in a tough environment, all the storyline, it was so touching and emotional, and it's like, wow, this this is good. It was a good story. I mean, so I would just want to say shout out to you, Morgan. You absolutely were amazing. I mean, it's just so cool being on a big set like that, and it's still going.
yeah, yeah. It was exciting. It was just cool to be there, and it's a shame that it's coming to an end, but I think that was probably I think it was a wise choice, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think that if we try to drag these stories out too much, it can damage the quality of the story, and if you just try to stretch things too much, it diminishes its value. So I think that the brothers made a good choice in ending it where it did. And I know a lot of people have problem with the ending, and they want to know, is 11 dead? I don't know if are we allowed to say spoilers? I'm
Probably
terrible.
not, but if you
Probably
can,
not.
I don't know if
Well,
anybody's seen it, but
oh, I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess people will have to watch and come to their own conclusion. But I've just the comments I've gotten on the video I posted, everyone wants to know about the ending, and then
I mean,
everyone.
I don't mind if you want to spoil it. I don't know if the audience would be like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I don't
well,
want to
Morgan
ruin
already
it.
spoiled it,
I
so
don't
why
want
should
to
I
just
see
ruin
it?"
it for them. But but everyone wanted to know about the secret extra episode. Everyone was sending me messages on Instagram like, "Oh, do you know if there's really an episode?" And then oh, I think was it yesterday or the day before the episode was supposed to come out, and then someone posted T touch grass, guys. There's no real episode, or something like that. And my friend sent it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't. I was pretty confident there was no extra episode." And I'm sure the brothers were watching that just laughing. But yeah, the internet's fun. It's a fun
Wow.
place.
Well, you never expected yourself, Morgan, to, like you said in the very beginning of the conversation, to be where you are now. And of
Yeah.
course, I mean, I'd be talking for myself, and you can agree or not, but you never thought as yourself coming where you came from to be in a big set, especially that's I could correct myself. Number one on Netflix, that's Stranger Things. So I mean, big shout out for you. I mean, and everybody else who's been on set on Stranger Things, and that is a big round of applause for you, Morgan, because
Yeah.
your testimony is like it's like you pursued your direction, but you never thought where you see yourself, and also you never know the people you run into, like you said, like
Yeah.
that is the thing, like. I mean, to me, it's like you're glad you ran into him again because it's like, you
Yeah.
actually,
Can you imagine if I hadn't run into him a second time? I just would have just ignored an email from Stranger Things. How horrible that would be. I'd be kicking myself for the rest of my life. So I'm
yeah,
going to shout out to Joseph. Bless his heart.
amazing, amazing. And he saw potential in you.
Hmm.
He really has. So that's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's a good guy. It was such a cool thing to just be handed, and I feel especially lucky because so many people applied to get to be background, and um had to be be in competition with thousands of people who applied, and I feel kind of a little bit like a little nepo baby. I just kind of it was just kind of given to me, and which I recognize the merit of, and I'm really thankful for because it was an opportunity not everybody got to have, and I want to recognize all the people that had to work a lot harder than I did to get up
Hmm.
to that and to have that opportunity for sure. Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, congratulations again.
you. Thank you. I
And
appreciate
of
it.
course, everybody must be wondering what episode and what season were you in?
Yeah, so the season finale of the fifth season. So the very last, all the very end of Stranger Things. Goodbye, Stranger Things, but I got to see it off.
Well,
I got to see off the end
congratulations.
of it. Yeah, thank
And
you.
where was it filmed at? Was it filmed in, I know you said it was cold, so was
Yeah,
it
it is
Atlanta? Was
here.
it
It was well, I had my hair cut like it was in the inside the belt line in Atlanta, pretty I think it was pretty close. It wasn't in midtown town, but it was some stages pretty central to Atlanta. I think it was only like 10-15 minutes where I was living at the time. That was where the haircut was and where they did a lot of the upside down filming was there right in Atlanta. And then downtown, oh gosh, I'm gonna blank on the name of the town, but it was about an hour from Atlanta. We had to drive to go to Hawkins, the downtown Hawkins.
okay?
Um for it's the scenes where it's pe the townspeople of Hawkins walking through the town and walking their dogs and going shopping. And it's during, oh gosh, man, why am I can't remember anybody's names right now, but the female character who um she has a podcast and she's talking about how what everyone's been through in her podcast, and it's voiced over of the townspeople of Hawkins finally happy and peaceful walking through their town. And it was like an hour from Atlanta, but still in Georgia. um and we had there was actually paparazzi there because I guess no one believed that we weren't Stranger Things. And they had paparazzi like because it was in a real town, so people could just kind of walk onto set. And we actually had a lot of problems with people just walking through trying to do their shopping, and they didn't realize, oh, that the pharmacy they usually go to is shut down right now because we're filming Stranger Things. People were just walking through and they're like, I'm just trying to get my medicine, and I'm like, sorry, you, you can't walk through here. And the poor the poor PAs were trying to like contain it the best they could, but they had the paparazzi with their giant lenses just from far away, just um getting pictures of the cast and being a little bit, they weren't being too disruptive. They were pretty well behaved paparazzi, all things considered. But that was an hour from Atlanta, and then we filmed at a high school. um it was, oh man, it was in some really wealthy area in South Atlanta, like
Okay.
Southwest Atlanta. So I just moved here. I don't really know the area very well, but I just typed it into my GPS and showed up. Um, but though I'm sure those kids, when they saw their school on Netflix, because they didn't tell them. They said that it was like their Thanksgiving break or their spring break or something, that we were filming at their like high school, middle school, or junior high or something like that. And using their fields and everything. And I'm pretty sure those kids uh, they probably had no idea because they were on break. And then come December, they're watching Stranger Things, and they recognize their field behind their school. So it must be, oh gosh, I would love to talk to one of those kids and see if they could recognize their school or not. I mean, they had everything decorated to look very different, but I wonder if it's recognizable to the kids that actually go to that school, which
That's a good question.
I think that would be so cool. It's just like just be watching Stranger Things, be like, I go to school there. But when did Stranger Things film at my school and no one told me? Because they tried to keep everything secret. Like it was they had a different name for it. I think it was like Cedar Woods or something like that. They had like some corny fake name. They were like, "Oh, we're filming this. This is not Stranger Things. This is something else." But when everyone's walking around and they're dressed in the 80s gear and you could tell it's a high budget set, like everyone knew it was Stranger Things, so we weren't really fooling anyone.
Well, thank you for sharing all this. This is so cool.
Yeah,
It's
sorry, I talk a lot. I'm just trying to give you all the good stuff that I got to experience.
no, I appreciate it. That's, it's like I said, it's an amazing show. It's awesome, and yeah, I just love it. I'm sad it's ending, but I know I
But it's
really
for good
am.
reasons. Yeah, it's a good thing.
So I want to dig into any upcoming projects you're going to be working anything?
Well, things are a little slow right now because it's the winter season. We're just coming off the holiday. I'm actually I'm going to New York City for a premiere next week, Wednesday. So I'm gotta get myself packed up for that. That'll be exciting to go and support that film. It's called Saturnalia. It's this is the one I had my hair cut in 70s. I had a 70s haircut for before Stranger Things. Um, it's a giallo horror film. Well, more of a thriller than a horror, but it's set in the 70s. And it's about a girl who goes to a very suspicious boarding school for orphans. And some things go wrong, and she has to kind of go around that and figure it out. But it's like an Italian giallo style
Hmm.
thriller film with really cool lighting. We had an amazing DP, Max Fisher. The crew on that was amazing too. It was a small budget independent film, but what they were able to do with such a little amount of money, especially comparing it to something like Stranger Things, who just has like unlimited funds. Um, some of these independent filmmakers can really use funds efficiently and make something amazing. So I'm really proud of that project and all the work that we did on that, and I'm excited for it to finally come out. It's been so long, all the politics of films and getting independent films out into circulation is a long process, but hopefully this year, maybe. Fingers crossed. I don't know anything.
Yes,
I'm just
hopefully.
an actor. They don't tell me things.
Well, hopefully it comes out and we can see more of your projects and everything.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited, and hopefully I'll be. My goal this year is to do a lot more auditioning.
Hmm.
Kind of moving to Atlanta and getting settled. I just focused a lot on acting training and stunt training, just trying to build myself up and get to a point where I felt like, okay, now I can compete here in Atlanta and get myself ready to start auditioning for some bigger projects. So hopefully that's coming this year. We'll see.
Yeah,
Nothing yet.
hopefully so.
Nothing yet, but hopefully soon.
Yes, hopefully so. And everything that you have done is amazing, and more big projects are going to be coming your way. And so, how does your family feel you being an actor and no
Oh.
longer doing your other job, if you mind me
Well,
asking?
I am still doing my other
Oh,
job.
okay, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah, I gotta pay rent. Yeah, I'm still a starving artist. That'll last for a while, but that's okay, We don't
And I gotta
nobody does art for the money.
Right. And I gotta ask, how does your coworkers and your friends find out, or how did they know that you were in Stranger Things? Did you keep it I'm curious, did you keep it a secret, or did you just
Oh,
say, "Oh, I'm on Stranger Things, guys," or what was
it
it
was
like?
kind of an in between like a secret and like I told some people. Man, everyone I kind of had thought that I had told people. And then I guess only told like one or two people, and in my head I told everyone. But I told like one or two people, and then they told other people. And then when the season came out, all of a sudden my manager was like, I heard a rumor that you're in Stranger Things. What's going on with that? I was like, oh, oh, well, let me tell you. So I told her all about it. She was like, oh, now I gotta go back and watch it and look for you. Because I look so different at work than I do on set because I work in the medical field. So I'm always wearing like a mask and like a scrub hat with no
Hmm.
one. I don't think anyone's ever seen my hair. I think most of my coworkers think I don't have hair because I just am always wearing this hat and covering my hair, gotta protect it. I'm it's hard for them to recognize me in things. But when I told them I was in Stranger Things, they were all very excited. And I had one of my coworkers send me like a picture of her TV screen when she was like, "I found you. Here you are." Was like that. That's me. Thank you for supporting. They've all been so nice and supportive, and my family, they were kind of weird about it at first because I told my sister I was on Stranger Things, and she was like, "That's not real. That's a scam." And I was like, and she was like, "Don't get human trafficked when you go to that set." And I'm like, "It's actually Stranger Things. I'm telling you." She's like, "Okay, you're gonna get human trafficked." And then I get there, and of course, it's actually Stranger Things. And then when she saw me, well, my forehead on the screen, that I think that was re when it really set in for her, and she was like, "Oh, my sister is on Stranger Things." At least her eyebrows are on Stranger Things. Her most identifiable feature. Um, so yeah, they've all been excited for me, and it's been kind of fun, especially making that video on Instagram and seeing how many people that I've never met before and I've never spoken to just all equally excited about it for me. And honestly, the amount of support on social media and kindness that I got was really unexpected. I think we kind of see social media as it can be very cruel and it can be very negative. And there, of course, there's lots of troll comments and a lot of negativity. Like you're not. A lot of people were saying you're not actually on Stranger Things or that's not you. And I'm like, how many people do you know that are that pale with eyebrows that dark? I'd like to who else could that be? It's me. And then some people like nobody cares. I'm like, well, I care. I don't care that you care. I didn't post this on Instagram for you, random person. This is not for you. This is for me. So, but it was kind of funny.
Hmm.
The troll comments were hilarious, but the number of people that were happy for me that my forehead made it and they were proud of me
Well,
and
it's
they didn't.
not just your forehead. There's other
Well,
clips.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's other
No,
shots
no,
of
I'm just
full
saying.
body.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there are shots of me, but the closest one is my forehead.
Right,
That's my famous
right.
shot, is this one right here. But yes, yes, I was really surprised at the ratio of kindness to trolls. I
Hmm.
was really, really shocked by that. I thought a lot more people would be unkind about it. Um, but yeah, everybody was so nice. Everyone really, really like it was an overwhelming amount of kindness from people. Um, and that did surprise me about it.
Wow.
And that was nice to see. Nice to see people supporting each other,
Of course, we support each other in the entertainment industry.
Yes, we do. We are good at that. I
Yes.
will say that for the entertainment industry, we
We
are good.
we're a family. You
We
have my
are a family.
support.
We are a family.
I 100% have my support, and and I cannot wait for more upcoming projects
Yeah,
for
thank
you to
you.
do.
Me too. I'm excited too. I want to do more. It never ends. Just gotta, it's always project to project to project. Gotta have another one. Otherwise you feel like you're starving to death.
Hmm.
And it's something I feel like if you're really an artist, and I think that was one of the things where I would realize, okay, I have to be an actor was like if I can't live without acting, then I should be an actor. Like, if
Hmm.
you have to do art to like be yourself and to keep going and that's what gives you the greatest joy in your life, like you're just gonna have to figure it out. Like you're gonna have to work jobs that you hate like me to have to get by. And all my friends, like everybody works a job that is not their passion to be able to do their passion. That's
Hmm.
kind of the thing about doing this. A lot of people, and I've had people reach out to me and be like, "Oh, how do I be an actor? And how can I need to make money as an actor really quick so that I can pay rent and I can move to Atlanta." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a pipe dream. That's not gonna. You have to have another job. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just do. Because you got to start somewhere. Like I've met people who've finally gotten to the place in their careers where they can quit their day jobs and just do acting. And that's what we all want. That's the dream. A lot of people think, "Oh no, the dream is to be a celebrity." No, we just want to make art full time. That's all anybody really wants is we just want to do this forever and ever and ever as much as we can.
Amen.
Everybody, all the like young like teenagers who've like reached out to me and they're like, "I want to be an actor." And I'm like, yeah, you have to have another job. You have because you got to pay rent, you got to feed yourself. And it's just kind of you just have to work really hard. Like you have to find the balance between survival and making as much time for your art as possible.
Right.
That's the hardest part
That's
because
so true.
yeah, that's the
It
hardest part.
is. It is. That's the thing about entertainment industry. It's tough, it's
It is hard.
fun,
Yeah.
but it's a challenge.
It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done, but it's also the most challenging.
Yes.
It's tough,
It can be
but
very,
yeah.
very
Mm,
rewarding. That's
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Um, I gotta ask, what's the most pivoted moment in your career?
Mm, man, that's a good question. I don't think I've hit it yet, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm quite there. I think I'm still in kind of a building phase. I really
Okay.
haven't been an actor that long. A lot of people started when they were young. I didn't start until like late in college. So I'm a little bit behind on, well, I'm going at my own pace, but I'm behind as far as most people have started a lot earlier than I have. But I think I'm still in this phase of very quick growth where I'm climbing in my skills very quickly, but as far as like hitting any point or any pivotal moment, I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I think it's coming. I think it's coming like in the next 3 years. So I can feel it. I can feel like myself getting closer to a point like that. But I just don't think it's here yet. And I'm
Okay.
trying
I just
to
had to,
I'm trying to
no,
be
no, no,
patient.
no.
Yeah. Oh
I
no, no.
gotta ask because you
Oh
never know.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I have you
I,
back
I
again,
will you'll be the first person I tell. How about
yes, when I
that?
have you back, you're always
I'll
welcome
message you
back.
and be like, okay, you know that point you asked me about. I hit it now. There you go.
Well, like I said, you're always welcome back on my show
Oh,
because
thank you.
no, I'm serious. I love your energy and your smile, like I said, and you're positive,
Thank you. Thank you.
and it's just I'm so proud because Stranger Things is amazing. It is
Thank you.
amazing.
I
It
appreciate it.
it really is.
It was cool. It was cool. All the people there weren't actors. That was the most fun part. I think I was the like one of the only actors in the background because it was like moms and dads and like their kids and there was this guy who just happened to be my he was training with my doctor back home from before I moved to Atlanta, and I was just talking to him and he was like, "Oh, I do this kind of medicine." I'm like, "That's so cool. I have a doctor that does that kind of medicine." He was like, "Oh, well, it's pretty rare." I'm like, "Yeah, well, where do you work?" And he was like, "Oh, well, you wouldn't have heard about it. It's this tiny town in the middle of nowhere." I'm like, "Is it this town?" And he was like, "Yeah, that town." I'm like, "Is it this doctor?" And he was like, yes, that's I work for her." I'm like, "That's insane." And we're on Stranger Things together. Who would have thought? It was just I have so many stories. It was it was such a good time. I have nothing but good things to say about the whole experience. But yeah, shout out to that one doctor who gosh, I'm so bad with names. I can remember nobody's names, but I remember his face.
That's absolutely amazing. That's so you got to meet someone that knows someone else that you know.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so cool. And then my mom on the show and my brother Sebastian, they put us into like little families. This was the cool thing about the details of people that are so professional on these sets is they didn't just put the background in the background. They they were like, okay, you're a family. This is your mom. This is your brother. You're here, and then they put you in your family, and then we were all talking about, okay, well, me and my brother, we don't get along, and mom thinks that mom doesn't like that I'm goth, and you're the golden child, and like we all were like really getting into it. And there's these people who've never acted before. They're just on Stranger Things because they're fans of the show. They have no entertainment background, no performance background, and they were fully committed to like their backgrounds and their storylines. And a lot of them didn't even make the screen. And but they were if I wish we had more footage of the background because they were so committed to their roles and they put their whole heart and souls into clapping and oh and a mom was like pointing at us for laughing at Dustin's speech. Like everyone was just so committed. I was like, you're all hired. And when the next movie I make, you're all of you hired. You're all professional background. Like I would hire them all in an instant. They were incredible. And a lot of people overlook the background, but they work hard too. And they're fun. It
Well,
was
I
so
can tell
I
it
wish
seems
I wish
like
I
you.
could just take you back in time and walk you around and show you everything.
Yes, I know you
That's
wish
what I
you
want to be able
could.
to do. I want to just be like, okay, let's go on like memory lane. If we could do like Magic School Bus and go back in time and and go and
I'd
look
be
at it.
like, Morgan, what's this? What's this?
I was
What's
like, no,
this?
this is this, and I know that guy, and that guy told me that I look like his high school girlfriend from the '80s. Oh, that was another thing. Was the older men were like, you look like my girlfriend when I was in the '80s, and there's this like little old man, and with he's like he can barely walk, and he's like, yeah. My girlfriend was goth. You look just like her back when I was young, when I was in high school. I'm like, "Oh, thank you, sir." Not what I was expecting to hear in my goth costume, but that's cool. Yeah, and all the background who were older and were actually alive in the 80s and who were like growing up in the 80s, they all were very impressed with the accuracy that the costume department had brought to all of our outfits and our hair. Like they were all saying, "Wow, this I feel like I'm back in time." Like they hit the nail on the head. They really it's perfect. Like everyone's costumes are accurate. And I thought that was so impressive because I wasn't alive yet. So I was impressed to hear them say, "Yeah, this is spot on." Like the
Mm-hmm.
costume and hair department, they knew what they were doing. They really they crushed it. They were an incredible team. It was
Wow.
so cool. It was so cool. Let's go. Let's go back in time.
Yes, we need to. I would love to go back in
I
time
know
and
you would love it. They'd
ex
probably give you a mullet. They'd probably cut your hair into a mullet. You'd have a mullet for a few months.
Yeah, I know. I still can't imagine you having your hair cut. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta ask, did you really cry?
Oh yes, of course I cried. Yeah, I my hair has kind of been like my favorite thing about myself since I was little. Like
Yeah. So
it's
you were like,
kind of a weird thing, but I
you
was
were
just
like, my mom's gonna get mad at me. My mom's
yeah,
gonna.
yeah, I was just really attached to my hair and like I truly like had not had any large haircuts since I was born. Like I had hair down to that like I would have to lift up to sit down because I would sit on it. Like my hair was that long when I was in middle school. Like I would literally like my hair would get stuck under my butt if I sat down and didn't lift my hair up first. Like it was that long. So I've always had long hair. And then I cut my hair to like my mid back just so that I wouldn't sit on it. And it was at that length until Stranger Things. So, 27 years of my life, I had really long hair and all of a sudden I'm like trying to put my hair in a ponytail and there's nothing to put in a ponytail. It just stopped. It felt like a limb was cut off. It was kind of something where like you're just so used to having it that when it's gone, it really felt like a piece of me was missing, like a whole chunk of like who I was just gone. It was it's weird to think about because when you think about it, it's just hair and it grows back, but it was a big change for me. It seems like something that's something so trivial, but it was important to me. And I think it's been good for me to cut it and realize that it does grow back. It's not the end of the world. And I think that will be something that'll be important, especially in acting. With there's so many hairstyle changes. I think that it was a good experience for me to see that, oh yes, if I cut my hair, it actually grows back. It's not the end of the world. The hair comes back and it's okay. I don't have to cry about this anymore. But yeah, at the time, and the biggest thing was like, I don't know how to style short hair. Like I didn't know how to put my hair. I was like, how do I put my hair in a ponytail? Like I can't. What do I do when I go to the gym? Like I couldn't even really braid it because it was so short. Like it was like really hard to even get in a ponytail unless it was like tall. So it was just like it was something I had really had to adapt to, and I was like, how do I make it look not 80s, just for daily life? Thankfully I wear a hat to work, so nobody had to look at it. But after it grew out a little bit, it was easier to style. But yeah, there's so many like pictures of me like with different hairstyles with my roommate, like testing out, okay, how do we make it not look like Snow White? Just for yeah, it was interesting.
Wow.
It was part of the experience. At the day of, yeah, I cried when I realized I don't know what to do with my hair and all of it's missing and my mother's gonna kill me. But that feeling went away really quickly when I realized like why I had cut it and what I'm doing this for. It was and realizing it was worth it. It was okay then, but I'm sure there's plenty of people, a lot of girls. If any girls with long hair, they know what I'm talking about. Like the thought of cutting your hair because it's so much work. It's so much work to care for. It's almost like its own entity. Like you got to cut it and you got to condition it correctly, and it's very high maintenance. So it's kind of like you have this little pet that
Hmm.
all of a sudden your pet's gone and you're so used to taking care of your little pet and no, there's your pet's in pieces. You just have a piece of a pet. You don't have a whole pet anymore.
That sounds horrible.
I don't know how else to explain it. I hope you're gonna have to ask another actor this and ask another actor with long hair and ask them if they've ever had to have a big chop and what that was like. I think some actors they cut their hair so often that it doesn't bother them, but it was a big moment for me to get over that. It's good for me to get over it. I need to get over it, but at the time, yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
ready. I wasn't ready
It
because I
seems
went
like you're
into it thinking, oh, I already have 70s hair. They're not going to touch it. So I was like, I'm not worried. And then I'm literally sitting in the chair and she's like, you going to do this or not? Like either you're in Stranger Things or you're not in Stranger Things. Because they were, they're trying to they were cutting hundreds of people's hair that day. They were like, come on, make a decision. I'm like, okay, just cut it. Just cut it. And they cut my bangs too. They cut these little short little bangs on me. So I literally like went home like I was like, I look, this is not the look for me. Because it wasn't styled. They just cut it. So yeah, it was fun.
wow.
It was fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
I had a little mental breakdown over it. Just a small one.
Wow. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah. I will share all the things. I share everything. A sharer.
Oh, I appreciate it. Wow. So sorry you experienced all that.
No, it was good. It was a good experience. I think I needed that. I think I needed to get over my little pet. It's okay to cut your pet pieces. Only this kind of pet, not other pets.
I can't imagine it. I never had a long hair like that. Well, I mean, I'm not a female, sorry, but never could.
Oh, well, now you're gonna have to grow it out. Now you're gonna have to have a reverse experience. So I cut my hair, so I'm done. My turn is over. Now you have to grow your hair out. That's
Right.
gonna, that's gonna be the deal. And then so grow it out, and then talk to me about how high maintenance it is, and then you'll understand.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Thank you again for sharing that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And wow, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And where can people find you on social media?
Oh, it's got a lot of underscores, but it's underscore Morgan, another underscore Messina, Messina, because I'm a mess. That's what I say. And then there's another underscore after that. But if you type in Morgan Messina, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that comes up. It's me. You'll recognize the eyebrows and maybe my
Mm-hmm.
friend from Stranger Things. I'm just saying.
Wow.
The eyebrows are on there. The eyebrows made the big screen.
Yes, your eyebrows. That's so true. Well, thank you again, Morgan,
Thank
for
you. This was fun.
for coming on.
I like telling stories. So if you ever want a weird story told, I got all of them.
Yes, I definitely want to have you back and have you tell more stories.
Yeah, I got 'em. I got stories for days.
Well, thank you again for following me on Instagram.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, I found you through Instagram.
Yeah, it's a good platform. It's easy to find people on. Hmm.
Hmm. It is. It's a good way to support each other.
It is. It's nice. I love that I get to see what all my friends are working on, and even like people that I've never met. I'm like, whoa, look at all this cool stuff that they're doing. It's nice. Like all the interviews and things that you're doing. It's great to see. I love it.
Well, thank you for your support, and
Yeah, of course.
you're always welcome to come back, and I would love to have you back.
Thank you. You just let me know. I'm a little bit booked up the next month with the premiere and moving into a new apartment, but
So maybe March sometime.
maybe March. Maybe March. You'll have to I'm sure I have a story for anything you can think of in this industry.
Okay. I'll plan March then.
Okay, plan March. You let me know, okay?
Yes.
You have to tell me a story. I did all the talking this time. Next time is your turn.
Yes.
And you're gonna grow your hair out, right?
Maybe.
Right. And you're gonna cut
Maybe.
yourself some little bangs.
I think the longest my hair ever grown was probably right here.
That's the pretty. Oh, you had that like 2000s bowl cut, huh? Nice. Yeah, the Justin Bieber cut. Yeah, everybody had that. That's
Yeah,
great.
but I didn't have a breakdown like yours. I was kind of like,
You were
oh,
like, yeah, this is cool.
the hair. And then I was like, oh, not a big difference.
Yeah, not a big difference. When you lose 5 inches is a big difference.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
I
Well, thank
know.
you. It's been a
Well,
pleasure.
thank you again. Again, I will reach out to you in March,
Yeah,
and
sounds good.
I will be looking out for you on Instagram, supporting you, and I
Thank
can't wait
you.
for more projects.
I have a stunt video coming out soon, so keep an eye out for
Yes.
that. Yeah.
When is that coming out?
I don't know. The guy, Brian Cranston, shout out to him, is editing it and putting cool sound effects and stuff on it. With it, he's with Atlanta Stunts, and he's putting that together for me. So I'm excited to see the final product. But that's coming out. I have a big martial arts background, so I'm trying to do some more action film stuff and use my skills for the good of the universe, you know?
Well, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'll reach out to you in March, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. You have a good night, okay?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you again, Morgan.
Thank
I'll talk to you
you.
soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.